and I'm so honored to have two very special guests on the show with us right now. We have Elena Sinelnikova, who is the director and co-founder of Metis, and one of their senior advisors, Natalia Ameline. Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right. And you have a very special story as well, and excited to get to know both of you better. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
So I guess my first question, because I think it's always great to see how things come together, is, you started Metis. How did you all meet, and what drove you to sort of become excited about this project?
We met a long time ago. That was back in Russia. We both were in the same university. And as we just were accepted in the university, we basically were standing in the area where all the students gathered. And I saw Natalia. She attracted my attention and I came and introduced myself. So that's the story. And that's the beginning of the story.
That's great. And I guess at this point, Natalia, obviously, we should let our audience know that Vitalik is your son, a remarkable human in our industry. Like, how did sort of he inspire your passion for blockchain and sort of get you excited about what's being built at Metis?
It's interesting, right? So normally we have parents as our role models, right? So for me, my son kind of became a role model for me in that sense as well. As you know, he got into space very, very early, and it is from him that I learned about Bitcoin, and ultimately got introduced to Ethereum and everything that the platform is enabling. So from there, the inspiration was very easy because while seeing the enormous potential that blockchain can create for the society, it was very difficult to stay away from it. And hence, at the first opportunity, I jumped and I joined Elena and Metis.
Well, I don't know if it's nurture versus nature, but I will say, of all the iconic leaders in our space, I think he has one of the most pristine reputations. So I give some parental credit to you as well.
I'll take it. Why not?
Well, let's talk about sort of Metis and sort of where you guys were maybe back in the day and how you've evolved as a technology stack.
So when we co-founded Metis with my co-founders Kevin Liu, Yuan Su, and Stephen Go, me and Natalia were still at CryptoChicks because we're also co-founders of CryptoChicks, and
nice.
Metis was basically incubated by the CryptoChicks.
There's been so many crypto chick related initiatives since then. So I guess copy is the greatest form of flattery, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We started it back in 2017, so I think it all went from there.
That's great. So for all those ladies that came later and said they were somehow inspired by what you did there. That's great.
Exactly. So but when Metis just started, we already had a community at CryptoChicks, and basically all people that we knew, all people that worked for us in CryptoChicks, they are right now actually working at Metis. So Metis has just allowed the CryptoChicks to have their our own platform to adhere to our vision of decentralization, of having the platform where people and companies can join together. People can find employment and companies can find the business without dependency on any central party. So that was the vision of Metis from the very beginning.
So let's dive into Hyperion now. Like, this is a L2 that sort of has some different qualities relative to other L2s in the market. And when did that sort of come about, and sort of what are some of the differentiators?
We've been watching the developing industry, blockchain and AI, of course, as well, as it's really became prolific and in the Web3 space. And we identified some major gaps there. One of the gaps is inability of today's blockchains to actually support AI workload and applications. So therefore, we understood that while Metis Andromeda chain, our main chain, is great for everyday all-purpose kind of things, AI needs something a little bit more robust. And that's how the birth of Hyperion came into play. Hyperion is the network which really focusing on high performance, high throughput, very fast transactions, between 1 and 2 gigagas per second. and very low latency practically instant transactions, which are enabled by our parallel processing algorithms. So all that enables Hyperion to handle those AI work demands and makes it very different from other applications today.
Can you give us some specific use cases for this type of technology that sort of someone could do right now? And also, like, how things are moving so fast with AI, so you have to also think about the use cases that are going to be relevant in 2, 3, 5 years. And so I'm curious, sort of, what are the use cases in particular that sort of stand out to you in terms of your network?
And absolutely. So the idea of actually the whole AI thing on the blockchain is spun from our philosophy of AI should be human-led and human-aligned. Because right now, with all AI that developed by the corporations, this thing get overlooked. So therefore, we are getting now together people that are interested in developing their own AIs that are adhere to their values. Like, for example, if you have kids, you can develop the AI that is carry the values to your kids and going to be like a babysitter to your kids, the supporter,
coach,
mentor, the coach. Yeah, so like this is like one of my favorite use cases that could be implemented. Yes, and
also like it's that sort of having that person with you, you know, even if they maybe live far away or have passed on, right? It's carrying on that tradition of mentorship. That's cool.
Yeah, and in addition to AI use cases, of course, there are traditional cases, for example, that will allow to expand existing industries. For example, DeFi. We can now incorporate high-frequency trading or derivatives on AI, which before were not necessarily possible because of limitations of the speed and throughput. The same goes with the gaming. You know, obviously there are games on AI, but it's always one of the impediment always been this instant ability to process a transaction, which Hyperion offers.
And I guess another big part of this is Lay's AI. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Liz AI is where exactly the alignment is happening between AIs and humans. Just like consider it as it's kind of like governance, but though I don't like the word governance, this is the alignment platform where actually humans can come together, aligned, be accountable for the data, for the training data. What is it exactly that we train in AI on? Who is it exactly coming from? So where is it coming from? And then to hold each other accountable, AIs and humans.
So how does that connect with Hyperion?
Because on Hyperion, we would like to see the ethical AIs, the ones that are trained from this data that we know that what it came from, that is not manipulated by any single party, but it actually belongs to people and that's responsible to people.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So as part of the implementation of this alignment, you're also launching tools, right? And one of them is the data anchoring tokens or DATs. I'm learning some new acronyms today in this interview. Tell us a little bit about what those are.
Yeah, so essentially, data anchoring tokens is one of the major innovations that we're introducing that will be launched within, let's say, LSAI. It's a new kind of token standards that allows you to kind of capture and trace the data, let's call it data provenance. So it's history, how it's been trained, who owned it, who contributed it, and where it's been used. So this token will be able to capture all this information. And then we want the information or the data to have value. Because one of the issues today is we share our information publicly. And these centralized entities, they harvest our data without our explicit consent and train their AI tools on it. And we don't get anything in return. So
no, we pay subscriptions to them.
Yes, we actually pay them for giving them our data. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is a very major imbalance in control and economics. So we want kind of to turn it around, and the data anchoring token is one of the ways to do it because it will hold our personal information, and because the tokens lives on chain, we will be able to set the rules, who can use our data, how to use it, and actually earn rewards for users using our data.
That's really cool. So AI and blockchain, that intersection is becoming more and more prominent, right? And you all are not the only crew that's thinking about how to solve some of these problems. We live in a decentralized world with blockchain, and we there's a lot of different products and services out there. I'm curious if you view, all these different products as competitors or potential collaborators. Like, is sort of the Vitalik sort of EVM model sort of in your mind in terms of how what you're doing can interact with other AI projects? How do you look at the landscape?
Absolutely. We operate under our philosophy. Human lead, AI advises. Human decides, human accountable. So whoever is with us on this philosophy, we accept them with open arms, whether they competitors or not. So we would love more people to understand that humans should lead in this AI economy.
And our technology, specifically the Metis SDK that powers all this innovations such as Hyperion and LESAI, it enables the cross-chain interoperability as well. So that allows us to seamlessly bring other players into our network and share all the economic successes that can be built within it.
So the doors are open.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. If folks want to get more involved, learn more about Metis, Hyperion, where should they go?
They can go hyperion.metis.io. So hopefully you can post that. So yes.
Yeah. And for LESAI, it's LESAI.network.